I think one of the beautiful things about this program is that you begin a working relationship with a parent from the basis that they love their child, and you can really build from there.
Children are just so precious, and knowing that we're helping to make a difference in their lives and that stability and having them reunified and with their parents, with their mum and dad is like what's better than that?
I absolutely admire the strength that these people come through the door. They don't wake up and want to use substances. They've been through hell and back, a lot of them, and they come to us.
Because they're so wounded by the time they get here, and their drug use is often not because they chose it, but as a kind of way to deal with the hurt that they feel.
I think our participants really value that this is a program that they're not judged in. People that are experiencing addiction, live in a world where they're constantly judged. They live with the stigma of addiction, and they expect to encounter that here. But they quickly discover that they're not judged.
The magistrates never gave up on me, always found something in me that I didn't find in myself. And when I would come back, oh my God, it's going to give me teary. But when I would come back and, they opened up so many doors for me. And
I've been a magistrate for over 30 years, and being head of the Family Drug Treatment Court is a real joy. It's something I'm passionate about because I feel that I'm making a difference in this court.
The whole wraparound service and the team is what makes the program. Without that, it's just, a magistrate sitting in court, really. And that's what differentiates this from mainstream court. You can practice a therapeutic approach in mainstream court, which essentially is one of listening and kindness and encouragement, but it's not the same as having the follow-up and the backup of the team and the case management, essentially.
I've been on drugs for 18 years, meth and heroin. Then, it was very hard for me to try to get help and work with the EHS and whatnot. So, coming to Family Drug Treatment Court, because there's so much you have to do and not to stuff up. So, God, he's nailed it as well. So, and it took me, 6 months, and I got my children back into my care. They see a different mum. They see, happy mum. They're lovable, and they're very surprised how far I come.
Always used to make me sad because I never knew how close I was to getting it. I said, all I want to have is my boys sleeping over, sleeping in my bed, having fish and chips and watching a DVD. It's not a huge, big wish I want to go to Disneyland and have all this money. It's just something really, really simple that seems so far away. And when I got that first sleepover, I just cried. I didn't want to let them go. I didn't want to let them go back.
Many of these people have never had one single positive word said to them in all their lives. And so they don't trust when you say something positive. They don't believe it because they've never really heard it much. And so to have that positive reinforcement for just tiny little things that they've done well really boosts their self-confidence to believe that they can recover from addiction.
Giving them that hope and planting that seed that recovery is possible, it's very hard at the start and you might not get it the first go, but stay adamant, keep going, because the gifts of recovery that you get are beyond my wildest dreams.
It's not just drug addiction per se that brings them to court. Often there are underlying factors that contribute to their drug addiction. It may be mental health, it may be family violence, it may be lack of accommodation. And if we can help them with all those other matters as well, that assists them in them getting off drugs and getting their children home.
So we have the child protection practice leader that sits at our hearings every Thursday, and so if there are any issues that are identified by the parents, the child protection practice leader is able to get some traction.
They want to return every week to talk about how proud they are that they successfully completed 3 clean screens, or they were able to have unsupervised contact with their child and see how happy their child was to be able to be taken to a park or to go to the swimming pool with them alone.
Just having that constant support was really good, and they really push you to do better. It made me realise I need to wake up to myself, and I do have a problem. And I've got full custody of my son now. If it wasn't for the drug treatment court, I've said this to the end quite a lot of times, like if it wasn't for that program, I probably would be still out doing the same things. It was really good that they accepted me on the program and the support they gave me throughout. So
during the hearings as well, there's a lot of tears. It's about connecting as well. Like the opposite of addiction is connection, and we're all connecting at that table, you know, really feeling what they're feeling and seeing what they're going through, hearing what they're going through, and acknowledging that this isn't where they want to be and how can we get you to where you want to be.
My experience is that many parents that we see have also been subject to child protection proceedings themselves as children. So there's that intergenerational circle that goes around and around, and it's really hard to break.
I think a family I worked with where we had 2 parents on the programme, so both a mother and a father, their little boy was out of their care, and it looked really hopeless that they were going to achieve reunification until they came to Family Drug Treatment Court.
I tried many times out in the community to do it on my own, no successes, but as soon as FDTC gave me that opportunity, it was like I couldn't believe, there was proper support.
I'm from the Narrandjeri in South Australia and Wombire up in the Northern Territory. I think, the program itself is a very culturally safe program, and the participants feel welcome and culturally safe in the program. They feel like they can talk to anyone and not feel judged, and they feel safe. So it's really good to see families come through the court and have their children returned back to them.
When a First Nations parent comes onto this programme, they're more likely to achieve reunification than a non-First Nations parent, and that's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, I think the great thing about the program is they help them get that connection back as well. It's not just about their recovery, it's about their connections back with their mob and the community. So you find grandparents, aunties, uncles, all reconnecting back with this participant, and it's really beautiful to see them all have a community, because they say, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander families have a village to raise the children, so it's good to see that village come back together.
One particular woman, we calculated the Ks that she walked just to do urine screens, and it was 105 Ks in a week that she walked, because there was no transport, and living regionally, we don't have ready access to public transport. But rain, hail or shine, she walked to get those urine screens done to get her children back in her care.
We're trying to achieve permanency and stability for children. We don't want a quick fix solution. We want a sustainable long-term solution that sees these children back at home with their parents for good. We don't want them coming in and out of care. We want them home for good, which is what is really great about the Family Drug Treatment Court, is the 12-month program. Even if parents have their children back after 3 months, the program still goes for 12 months. They get that ongoing support for that whole period, and then a 6-month aftercare period. So it's actually really supportive of our families, and therefore our children get their parents back. And it's a beautiful thing for child protection to see children return to their parents' care. That's what all of our goals are.
We change lives not just with the parents that we work with, it's their children and their children and their children. It's not just one life that we're touching, it's the generations that come after that.